name is Joe. These are just opinions. I am Joepinionated. Today on the channel, we're ranking the top albums from Guns N' Roses. 6 albums from Guns N' Roses. Number 6, Chinese Democracy. So this is 2008. Axl finally releases the long-awaited next Guns N' Roses album after sitting on it for quite a long time, and releases being promised for years and years. And it came out, and it was a good album. I think that if it came out in 1995 or 1996, somewhere around there, would have been a great album. To me, felt like a 90s album trying to be like edgy. Now it's 2008. There have been other people that had come in and taken Axl's crown as the bad boy hundreds of times. To me, it just didn't work. Now, I know a lot of people like this album a lot. I always have hope that it'll come around for me. It just hasn't yet. Number 5, Guns N' Roses Lies. GNR Lies. It's an EP. 4 songs on the one side, acoustic songs, and then on the other side there's 4 live tracks. Cover, how many are covers? I think Move to the City, Reckless Life are like originals or works that they've done in previous bands. Mama Kin is a great cover of Aerosmith. Nice Boy is probably the weakest track. I think that they also, around this time when they were touring, and it's on a lot of their old shows, they're covering a whole lot of Rosie. I was actually gifted a copy of the CD. It's like a mini CD. And that's really cool. That has a whole lot of Rosie on it. It's so easy. Move to the City and Sweet Child O' Mine. I remember seeing that on the shelves when I was a little kid and just thinking like, oh my God, I want that so bad. And then my buddy Trevor gave it to me as a gift one time. And thank you so much. That was really cool. And I still have it. GNR Lies, right? You've got Patience. Used to Love Her. You're Crazy, which is my favorite version. I like this version more than the version on Appetite. And One in a Million. Controversial song. Controversial lyrics. I really like all 4 of those songs. I think they're all really good songs. I have a hard time picking my favorite from those four tracks. And the cover of Mama Kin, excellent. But I mean, these guys are very motivated and driven by the sounds of Joe Perry and Steven Tyler. Slash always talks about Aerosmith Rocks being, one of his favorite albums. And also James Hetfield says that too. Joe Perry had pawned off a guitar or sold a guitar at one point when he was in the ruts. Thought it was gone forever. One of his favorite guitars. Slash actually bought it and surprised him with it on his birthday, 50th birthday party, I think, something like that. GNR Lies. I think it's awesome. This is my introduction to Guns N' Roses, was right around the time Patience came out. That's when I was sort of really getting in a groove with Guns N' Roses as a very young kid and very influenced by my older siblings. Number 4, I'm going with the Spaghetti Incident. I would imagine Chinese Democracy is the least popular album, and maybe this is some good reason, I guess, because it's an album of cover songs. Great artists, New York Dolls, and their cover of Since I Don't Have You, I think, is incredible. One of their best songs they ever put out. New Rose, Down on the Farm, I used to think that was funny. Human Beings, all right. Raw Power is all right. Ain't It Fun, highlight for me is Ain't It Fun. Buick McCain's good. Little Soundgarden in here as well. All their old punk inspired tracks. Duff McKagan is was an old punk musician, I think from Seattle or the Seattle punk scene. Was that right? He's really cool to watch. Watch his interview with Nardwuar. I mean, I've learned more about punk music from Duff McKagan talking about it in interviews than almost anywhere else. So I like the Spaghetti Incident. It's not as awesome as the next 3 for sure, but as far as like cover albums go, it's one of the better collection of covers by an artist. It's so bizarre, the timing of this too. They just put out so much material in a few years, and then this cover album came out. It was a big disappointment at the time for sure, but now that I'm looking at 6 albums, I've got Spaghetti Incident at 4. Okay, number 3. I wasn't sure what I was going to do before I got into this, but I've landed on Use Your Illusion 2 for number 3. The reason is that I counted the songs that I like on the next 3 albums. This one had the least amount of songs that I really loved out of the next 3 albums, or at one time really loved. I kind of took that into consideration as well. Civil War, 14 Years, Yesterday's, Knocking on Heaven's Door, Get in a Ring, Not Crazy About Shotgun Blues, Breakdown, Pretty Tied Up, Locomotive, Not Crazy About So Fine, Estranged, You Can Be Mine. I don't like the Illusion 2 version of Don't Cry, just because I know the words to the other one. I never learned the words to this one. And My World, the in contention for my least favorite song of the 90s. Some incredible songs on there. I don't think that they're any better or any worse than the next 2 albums for the song quality for those 10 songs. Like, they're way high up there for me as far as classic rock goes, but I counted them. That's how I decided. So those are the 10 songs I really liked from that album, or at one time really liked. Illusions 2 finishes 3rd place. Illusions 1 and 2 released on the same day. Number 2, we're going with 1987's debut, Appetite for Destruction. same thing. It's very close for me. This one and Illusion 2 are neck and neck. I think I counted 10 on this one as well. Welcome to the Jungle, It's So Easy, Night Train, Out to Get Me, Mr. Brownstone, Paradise City, My Michelle, I Don't Really Like Think About You, Sweet Child O' Mine, You're Crazy, I Don't Really Like Anything Goes, and Rocket Queen. Out to Get Me is almost close too, but this album's another classic. I mean, the first, 4 albums, I can listen to them front and back, no problem. A lot of it with the Appetite for me comes with, massive overplay. Favorite album of many of my friends and family and stuff like that. I've heard it so many times. That's probably why it doesn't finish in first place on my list, even though, I'm a huge fan of this album. There's a good chance I've heard it more than most people. This thing was just playing all the time in my childhood and then working later on down the road. It was one of the CDs people had, and they just tossed it in the ghetto blaster on construction sites, and we're listening to Appetite. Incredible debut record, great songwriters around these guys, putting together this amazing raw punk, hard rock, sleaze rock, glam metal album, Appetite for Destruction. And so number 1 brings us back to Use Your Illusion 1. Technically, it was the first Guns N' Roses album I personally owned. I got a cassette for my birthday from my buddy Jesse. I had to hide it from my mom. One of the tracks is called Back Off Bitch, and that's certainly not allowed in my house. She would have taken it from me for sure. So I had to hide it, and it had a cassette. It has some of my favorite songs on it from Guns N' Roses. This one just has more great songs on it than Appetite or Illusions 2. To me, they're not crazy about Right Next Door to Hell. I love Dust and Bones. Live and Let Die. Don't Cry. Perfect Crime is You Ain't the First. I did like that one quite a bit growing up. So You Ain't the First. Bad Obsession, Don't Like Back Off Bitch, love Double Talkin' Jive, November Rain's great, The Garden with Alice Cooper is great, Garden of Eden, never really crazy about that one. Don't Damn Me, I really did like it when I was a kid. Don't listen to it that much these days. Bad Apples, excellent. Dead Horse, excellent. Coma, excellent. Those 3, one of the best stretches in any of the albums. For me, just plain songwriting, singing, everything. I think that this is the best example of that for Guns N' Roses as a whole, is this album. I think it has my favorite Izzy song is Dust and Bones, and so many of my favorite Axl tracks. Coma is a great Axl track. November Rain is a great Axl track. I gotta go with Use Your Illusion 1 as the best album from Guns N' Roses. Number 1 album. Guns N' Roses from Hollywood, Los Angeles, really blew up with Appetite for Destruction, 1987, released in July of 1987. And I think they kind of went over when Welcome to the Jungle was featured in Dirty Harry and the Deadpool. The group as well is featured in a few scenes from that movie. Pretty cool, alongside a young Jim Carrey. Blew up in a huge way. They were opening for Aerosmith, some of their icons. Aerosmith basically went straight from that to doing their own arena shows, and some of the craziest antics from any rock band ever. They broke up after a few albums, have recently got back together and have started touring again. A few of the members / Axl and Duff. Dizzy Reed also touring around with them these days. One of the members brought in for the Illusion albums. Original members, Steve Adler, Izzy Stradlin / Duff McKagan and Axl Rose. Steven Adler out after the first album, some substance issues, was out of the band. They brought in Matt Sorum. I think he was with the Cult previously. And when Izzy exited the band, they brought in Gilby Clarke. These days, they've got Richard Fortus, who's really killer on the rhythm guitar with them. Melissa Reese on the keyboards. Isaac Carpenter on drums. We got a really cool band right now. That's it. Nice quick one. I got all kinds of respect for Guns N' Roses. Check out the playlists on my channel. I've got the top 25 songs ranked on a previous episode. Tell me your order in the comments below, and I'll definitely message you back. Love these guys. I'm kind of hoping they do put out another album. I know they're touring around right now. I would love more than anything in life for Izzy Stradlin to join the group again, but I don't think that's ever happening. I'm sorry, I'm a little low on facts and high on opinions. Respect to Guns N' Roses. We out.